Well, I'm just 4 weeks into this really crazy funk that I've been going through that I've been sharing with you. And on today's episode, I'm going to share with you exactly where things stand. Have they gotten worse? Have they gotten better? Stayed the same? I'm going to share it all with you and a lot more. I'm Dr. Dave. It's Microdose U. Thanks so much for being here.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
Hey, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here, Dr. Dave. And let me tell you what's going on with the funk. Oh, first of all, real quick, as you know, check the show notes in every episode. I'll make it real quick. Check the show notes in every episode. A lot of really great links there for you. And website microdoseu.com. That's all I'm going to tell you today. So those are the two things. You need to do them. Okay, let's get into today's show. So as you know, it's been just about exactly 4 weeks from when I'm recording this right now, from when my landlord told me that we need to get out of our house that we've been in for about 5.5 years. And it was quite a shock. And it kind of led me into this kind of downward spiral, going through some weird stuff that I've been sharing with you over the past few weeks in the podcast right here. And it was weird because I certainly thought for a while that there's a chance that we could just be homeless until we find another place to live. Since we've been in Salt Lake City, as my wife and I, we've rented this house and we love it. And it's been like our home. And, our landlord owns the house. She didn't do anything wrong. She wants to move back into her own house. So we needed to find a place. And the good news is I think we found a place. So it's taken a tremendous load off of me. I just want to share this with you because, again, what I'm going to share with you about like what's going on with me and what's been going on with me, it's not just because I want to talk about myself. It's because I know that this can help you if you're going through anything in life. It doesn't have to be losing a house or getting kicked out of a house or an apartment or whatever. It could be anything, a job change, a divorce, an illness in the family, a death in the family. It could be anything, because all these things that we go through as human beings living in this world, there's nobody that can escape not having crazy things happen to them. So when they do, it's how you handle them, which will determine how you feel. Now, admittedly, I had 4 very, very tough weeks. I shared a lot with you. Just feeling down, feeling weird, feeling like almost like, we lost something major. And what's going to happen? Are we going to be on the street? And not knowing for sure what's going to happen led me to just kind of not feeling great every day, not wanting to talk to other people. I shared with you what happened when I went to listen to the music 2 nights in a row. People would try to talk to me, and I got into these conversations that I did not want to get into, and it went really bad, and I just felt horrible. And then I shared with you I had to go out and do that hike and get out, kind of almost in the middle of nowhere, to enjoy myself, because I just didn't want to be around anybody, and my wife was in Japan. But something interesting I want to share with you is that when you understand what happened, like what's going on, in my case, it was, getting kicked out of a rental home. But your case might be something different. Again, divorce, could be anything. When we recognize what it is that's causing this, then we are able to take action and fix it to feel better. Now, in my case, it was only 4 weeks. I'm feeling a lot better now because we found the home that we just put under contract, and I think it's going to work out. I mean, nothing's definite till they hand you the keys, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure. And knowing that we've got that piece of the puzzle solved made me feel a lot better. Now, that only took about 4 weeks. In the case of a divorce, that's going to take a lot longer. I've been through that. And that, I have to tell you, that took years. I was just feeling really weird for years, and it was not good. How and that's I'm sure that's some of the stuff that led up to my anxiety and depression that took place. It culminated 3.5 years ago when I said I've got to do something, and that's when I started the microdosing journey, and that really fixed everything. And I'll share something else with you that's very interesting, that I've always told you that everything's connected. Mental, physical, it's all there's you can't just isolate one thing and say like I'm not feeling well, I've got a headache, or I'm depressed, and you isolate. You can't just isolate it. Everything is connected, and I'll share this with you. So during these last 4 weeks of anxiety and not knowing where we're going to be. This is really strange. I never get any type of back pain. It's extremely rare that I would have lower back pain, but for some reason, and I'll tell you what I think the reason is, I developed some lower back pain within that 3 to 4 weeks. It came out of nowhere. I didn't. It wasn't like I hurt myself working out. It wasn't like I fell. It just started hurting. And I wish I had this in front of me. My wife, a few years back, shared with me. She's got this book, and whatever type of like pain, ailment, issue, medical issue you've got going, it can always be connected to something that's going on in your life. And it's really interesting that I developed this lower back pain basically out of nowhere. But was it really out of nowhere? I don't think so. Maybe it wasn't a physical thing that happened to me, but it wasn't out of nowhere. I can absolutely pin it down to exactly the time that I was under a tremendous amount of stress because of the housing issue. I can definitely pin it down to that. And another thing, this is going to sound weird and it's very trivial, but is it really trivial or not? My skin is I usually don't have like breakouts or pimples or anything like that. But again, during that 4 weeks, I just had this weird, large ass pimple that popped out of my face out of nowhere. Stress, anxiety, uncertainty in our lives, they can all wreak havoc on us physically as well. Those are just two things that happen. I mean, imagine if this had lasted longer. I mean, people's health can actually deteriorate. People's physical health can actually deteriorate when you're going through a very stressful time. It's just that's why we are on this microdosing journey together, because I do believe, and this, I had a tough 4 weeks. I definitely did, and I shared it with you. And by the way, I really appreciate your outpouring of love. I got a lot of messages, emails from you guys. We're nakama, and it just goes to show that the energy in this nakama is unbelievable. I read every single thing I got. Any comments on videos, whatever, I read everything, and I really appreciate the outpouring of love from our nakama. I really do. You have to identify what's going on, and again, sometimes it's not quick, it's not easy. In our case, it was a definite thing. Like, okay, we found a house, and now we feel better because the uncertainty is gone. But again, if you go through a divorce, there's a lot of uncertainty there. And I'm using that as an example because lately I've gotten some email from some of you who said you're going through a divorce, and you just wanted to share that with me, and I appreciate that a lot. And I feel bad, but I will tell you, because I've been through it, but I will tell you, it does get better. But there's going to be days and weeks and more of uncertainty, second guessing, like, should I have done that? I'm a failure. I'm not worth anything. There's a lot of those feelings and thoughts are gonna start coming. But again, what I was sharing with you is that we are nakama, we are microdosing together. Our energies are one almost. They're coming together, and we make each other feel better. And I felt the energy from my nakama here, and that's one of the reasons I feel that I started feeling better very quickly. But again, it might not be an overnight fix, whatever you might be going through, but it's important to identify it. Just understand what's causing, because it's uncommon for you to be going through life, and then all of a sudden, I'm not saying it's impossible, but all of a sudden you go through this tough mental period, mental, mental health as far as anxiety and depression, usually it's related to something. Usually it is. I mean, look, I guess it's possible it could be purely a chemical imbalance. I guess it's possible, but I feel it's almost always related to something going on. And you might not even know what it is, but it's important to identify it. But if you're going through something, share with our nakama here, because I think the energy of all of us can help each other. Like you all just helped me quite a bit. I've said this a million times, but I'm not any different than you. I might be a little bit further along on the timeline of microdosing. Maybe you're ahead of me. I don't know, but we're all on different timelines and what we've got going on in our lives. But the most important thing is that we are doing this. We're on this journey together, and we are going to feel better. There's no question in my mind. We're forging this path together forward, and there's no question that this works. This is not a bogus medicine. Trust me. It would be impossible for this to be like a placebo or bogus and have me feel totally different than I did 3 years ago. That would be impossible. It just doesn't happen like that. So continue with the journey. I'm here for you. We've got an entire nakama here for you. Again, I've said this before, but when I'm speaking into this microphone and I'm saying nakama, I feel you. I feel you all. I really feel like the energy field coming towards me from just when I say nakama, and I feel all of you. So it's a wonderful thing we've got going here, and I'm so glad you're part of it. And again, we all go through things. This will not be the last thing I will have gone through in my life. There'll be more. I don't know what there will be, but there will be more. So we have to be prepared. We have to understand that sometimes it's okay not to feel right. As long as you're working on the solution, as long as you're working on the way to feel better, that's okay. If you're feeling horrible but not doing anything to help yourself, then that's not a good thing at all, and I would not encourage that at all. So thanks for listening. Again, I don't really want to make this all about myself. I've been through a lot of craziness just in the past 4 weeks, but I don't want to make it about me. But with my story sharing with you, I think it can help you, because chances are you have been going through something, you are, or you will be. So let's keep all this in mind. I'm so glad you're here. Wednesday and Friday, brand new episodes. Mondays, I've been doing some mushrooms in the news type thing, and there's been some crazy stuff out there. But let's keep the energy going. So I'll see you in the next episode. I am Dr. Dave. Love you. Microdose U.